So introducing the best cannon in the world, the Pf22.2. Thank you very much. So it's been a long time in the coming, but eventually the best foam cannon on the planet has arrived into the UK. So I'm just going to walk you through a few steps now, and I'm going to show you the comparison between the version 1 and the version 2. So with the version 1, the biggest problem that was discovered across the world was unless you have a certain amount of fluid within the cannon, so in this case we've got about 50% in the cannon, it's got a tendency of falling over. But even now, even if you tap it like this, as you can see, it just tipples over. Now, if this reservoir was empty, as soon as you put it down, because it's so nose heavy, it would just keep falling over. So this is where the Pf22.2 comes into it. If you know anything about blow molds or plastics or the combination of both, you will know that when it comes to doing a proprietary design of the actual newest bottle itself, they would have spent hundreds of thousands, if not millions, in terms of designing this, throwing a few of the molds away, and obviously putting a copyright and a patent across the world on this bottle. Now, the Pf22.2 is not the new cannon as a general, it's only the new bottle. So the fantastic foaming head is still exactly the same. And with this package, with the existing high performance foaming head and the newest conical style bottle, so we're going to have a look inside the box right now, and then we're going to take this outside and I'm going to show you the true performance of what it looks like in real terms conditions and in terms of how it foams as well. So the Pf22.2 comes in a nice box like this. Now, if you're in the UK and you're watching this when the V1s were available, and which are still available, they just literally come like this. They just get thrown in a box and said, there you go. And that is a little bit unfortunate. However, the .2 version is exclusive from America, so as you can see, they've actually gone through a nice design process and it just looks very premium. Hopefully in the future as well, we will actually have a say in the design of the box, and we'll try and brand the box as a co-brand in essence. So YumCars by MTM, who knows? But I'm going to show you inside the box. This is how you will receive the box. Now, the one thing I will say is when you look on the side, and it says you will receive XYZ part, some parts may be missing, as I'm about to show you, because depending on the configuration that you decide to choose it through the website, some of these parts are not needed by you. So I'm going to just take them out and throw them away, and that way you just won't get confused. So within the box, this is how it will come. So it'll give you a user manual, it'll give you our story, and again, it will tell you which parts will come within the box, but as I've already mentioned, some of those parts may be missing, or in fact all of them will be missing. So within the box, most importantly, you get the brand new V2 bottle, which is amazing. In fact, I'm going to show you on our existing one. This is currently empty, there's no liquid inside it, and when you do this, it's not falling over. So after every wash, we'll dump the rest of the solution within our wash buckets and obviously rinse it out. So in this case, it's going to be empty as it is now. So when you put it onto a table, back onto your shelf, you won't have any fear of it toppling over at all, and I'm putting some heavy pressure into it. So that is the main advantage of this. Again, the nose is so big and bulky that this is where the V1 really struggled with the design. So the bottle will come. You will also get the world famous head, this. You actually get a cap as well, so for example, if you do have a spare bottle or you just want to do for storage, you'll put a top on it like so. But in normal uses, you will probably never need this top. Now, the most important thing within this, you see a little bag. So here, this is a 1.1 millimeter orifice. Now the difference between the two orifices are as so. As standard, the cannon will come with a 1.25 millimeter orifice pre-installed, so just in here where we will actually be putting attachments in. So 1.25 orifice is basically how much pressure and how much water goes through the little hole. Now, if you're running a cheap pressure washer, so anything I would say below £500, you will need to swap this out for a 1.1 mil orifice. The reason you do this is because there is not enough pressure being built up by all the cheap pressure washers, that when you fire the cannon, the performance won't be as good. It'll still be amazing, but it won't be as good as, let's say, when you put a 1.1 millimeter orifice, or if you're using a high premium pressure unit, something like the Kranzel. So like I said, if you do have, let's say, a nil Fisk, or you've got a Karcher K2, K4, K5, any pressure washers like that, it's a very simple fix. You just take a screwdriver, you literally unscrew it, you put a new one in, again, screw it, only do it with hand tightness. It's quite easy to cross-thread this through, so just put it in, just give it a bit of juice behind it, just make sure it's nice and tight and you're good to go. So finally, within the box, you'll have the parts that I'm talking about that some of you may not need. If you have chosen a certain configuration, so for example, you have chosen a Karcher bayonet fitting, or you've chosen a nil Fisk bayonet fitting, these parts will get taken out. The reason for this is when you open the box and you see 3 different parts, you'll see which one you'll put on. You're going to send us an email, you're going to give us a phone call, you're going to get confused. So just to avoid the confusion, this is going to get taken out, it's going to get put to the side, and you're going to get the one true fitting that you need. So when your Pf22.2 arrives at the door, you will have a fitting that has already been taped by us, but it will not be torqued down by us. The reason for this is, if we tape a fitting and then we put it in here and we torque it down, and you, let's say, have a Karcher K2, for example, you will then have to really untorque it in a way and change the orifice, and this will obviously mess up the PTFE tapes. Some people don't have the right tools to untorque it and torque it down again. Now, if it's not torqued down correctly on the retorque, it may have a little bit of a leak. So what I would recommend is get yourself 2 spanners, and you do a counter kind of thread screw as when you torque it down, and it's nice and easy. It'll take you 30 seconds. So as an example, you've got here an untaped a quarter inch disconnect. So imagine this was taped. You would just put this in like so and just torque it down in your back in business. And as you've seen there, torque it down, it'll take you about 7 seconds. So this is the reason why there will be no attachments fitted on the actual foam cannon itself, just in case you have to interchange this, and that actually saves you time in the long run. So just to show you and just to reiterate, obviously I haven't put any parts down on this yet so far, but this is again out the box, fresh bottle, no liquid in whatsoever. When you start threading the bottle on, you will just see instantly just how it sits. It's a fantastic design. We have been chosen to be the exclusive importer of the Mtm Pf22 in the UK. So at this time, it's only available through ourselves. Now, the opportunity will be opened up to a handful of selected, highly selected resellers, to where they will be offering it to their customers as well. So keep your eyes peeled on some of your local stores. If they already have their V1, they may have the V2 from us. But this cannon is the most premium. It's the best, it's the most well built. The bottle itself is unbelievable. This will last you for years. So for example, this is 3 years and still going strong. Obviously we'll still use it for a certain pre-wash chemical or wheel cleaner or anything like that. So 3 years, there's no breakages. We've had this for about 1.5 years, all good to go. All the parts are still original. So when you do buy this foam cannon, I hope you do enjoy it. I hope you do get the full experience out of using, again, like I said, the best. Now, one other thing I do want to point out to you as well, that within the foam cannon, you actually have a few various adjustment levels. So any foam cannon will spray like this. So you can open the fan up and you can go top to bottom. Now, you will see on here that there is a little indented line. So if it's pointing at the 12 o'clock position, you will still get the generic foam pattern that I just talked about. Now, if you twist it, and you heard the click there, now the arrows are going to be pointing this way, so that means you can actually have a horizontal foam cannon. So if you want to foam up like this, it's perfectly done. Now again, this here, it will adjust anywhere from a jet, so nice and straight, to where I probably open about 80%, so it gives it a nice fan. So with this foam cannon, you will have an adjustable spray pattern and an adjustable spray width. Again, on the top, I would suggest the first thing you do when you do load it up to be ready to foam, just turn the dial all the way to the max. This is what you want. I've never used it any other way, so I wouldn't do 50-50 or 30%, so 100% of the way, and you'll be good to go in in all cases. So now we're going to take it outside. I'm going to hook it up to our Kranzel and I'm going to show you exactly how it's done. So the easiest way of doing this now is, again, the way I like to do it is I never unscrew the metal part of the top. I like to hold it like so, and I like to actually use my right hand or your left hand if you're that way orientated, is to unscrew it, because the threads on the actual plastic bottle are plastic, so it's very easy to cross thread them, and if you're not careful, it'll just rip through the threads nice and easy. Now, like I said, a year and a half in, if you do it my method, it'll just last. Just hand tighten it with your right hand. Now again, you've got our Yum foam, and I'll just show you just exactly how much you need. So again, one squeeze, that's probably about around 50 mil. If you want a little bit more, add a little bit more in, but 50 mil, I'm gonna go and fill it up with water now, and we're gonna see outside. So I've now got this hooked up to our Kranzel. This is teamed up with the Mtm SGS28, so it's a full swiveling gun. You've seen how little of the Yum foam I've put in, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if you're using a different product or you want a stronger dilution, just add a little bit more. Now, what I would always recommend, especially if you're using thicker soaps, is take the foam cannon and either put your finger inside it before the head goes on, or in this case, just give it a good shake. This is so the foam cannon doesn't pull up all the heavy concentration of the soap up, and that way you won't get like 15 seconds of heavy foam and then 45 seconds of just water pretty much. So you give it a good shake, just make sure it's all mixed in. Now I'm going to show you now exactly how it works. Oh yeah, that's creamy. Woo! Nice. So as you've seen, it's quite thick. So yeah, that's it. That's Mtm Pf22. You can form your arches with it, your wheels, your bodywork, anything really. Metal walls. It does it all. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. When you do receive the Mtm Pf22.2, hope you enjoy the experience, and I'll see you guys real soon.